Back with another one. Today I'm going to give you a quick review and a few of my thoughts on the Smashing Machine. The Smashing Machine is directed by Benny Safdie, who was best known for Uncut Gems, which came out in 2019, and Good Time, which came out in 2017. So Benny usually stays in the thriller crime genre, but this time around he decides to branch off with a sports biopic, bringing us into the life of professional MMA fighter Mark Kerr and the events that took place in his career as well as his personal life between 1997 and 2000. The Smashing Machine stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt. So in The Smashing Machine, we learned that Mark Kerr began his career with a wrestling background and really made a name for himself fighting in Japan in a tournament called Pride. You see, the UFC wasn't as popular back then as it is today, so it was still the early days. Rules are still being established, illegal moves are being banned in real time, the fighters aren't making as much money as they should, a lot of fighters are encountering contract issues, some fighters are being able to fight with certain things in their system, and this is where the story picks up. Undefeated Mark Kerr finally faces his first loss and doesn't know how to handle losing, and he feels he was cheated, which ultimately leads to him developing an opioid addiction. So we see how or if Mark Kerr can balance his personal life and his career and somehow find his way back on the right path. The first thing I noticed immediately was how committed Dwayne was to this role. Like, it's more of a serious drama versus the safe, silly stuff. I enjoyed Dwayne's more serious roles, like the early films in his career when he was establishing himself in Hollywood. Like, ever since Gridiron Gang, which is my personal favorite of his, I always felt he had the potential to do more with his acting, like to challenge himself more. Give Dwayne the right script and the right director, I think he can deliver. See, back in those days, opioid addiction wasn't as prevalent as it is today, and I believe it was even marketed as it not being addictive at all. So we see Mark Kerr experiencing in real time the darkness of opioid addiction, which causes problems with his personal health and his relationship with his girlfriend, played by Emily Blunt. Arguments are already happening, they already have their problems, but things get even worse when the opioids come into the picture. She wants him to stop, he assures her that he has it under control, and so one day things go left and he realizes that he needs to make a change. Emily Blunt's acting in this film is very good. One minute she's sweet and caring and supportive, then she flips a switch and becomes combative and unpredictable. Then she flips a switch again and she's right back all warm and cuddly. So she's hot and then she's cold. Their relationship is full of ups and downs. They have a lot of love for each other, a lot of rough moments, but a lot of love for each other nonetheless. Dwayne and Emily did a good job showcasing their acting chops in this film. Like, they both did a pretty good job. Bravo. So aside from the obvious fighting aspects of the film and the overall physical transformation, Dwayne Johnson successfully experiments with a different cadence and approach or delivery than what we've seen from him in the past. The Smashing Machine isn't the type of movie where Dwayne Johnson is just playing The Rock in a movie, like he's not playing himself. He had to go to a different place to successfully nail this role. And shout out to the makeup artist. Like, there are times in this movie where the makeup makes Dwayne look different. Like, his face looks unrecognizable a little bit. Like, it's him, but he's fully embodying Mark Kerr in this movie. The fighting scenes were cool, just the right amount of brutalness or brutality, I guess. Dwayne confirmed that there were times, or a lot of scenes had real punches in them. Like, there were times he was actually being hit and he felt concussed. Dwayne gained 30 pounds for this role, so he was all in for this role. For my factual opinion, I would probably just say, just give us a little bit more fighting scenes and explore that darker lane of that opioid addiction a little bit more. But overall, I don't really have too many critiques for this movie. I think the sole purpose for this film was for Dwayne to hop back into more serious, dramatic roles and to also tell the story of one of UFC's pioneers. And that's exactly what they did. If I had to rate and categorize the Smashing Machine, I would probably give it a solid 7 out of 10 and put it in the worth the watch category. So if you're into movies like The Wrestler, Iron Claw, Magazine Dreams, check this one out. It's worth the watch. I think Dwayne Johnson did a pretty good job portraying Mark Kerr. We gotta look into his life, his personal battles, as well as his accomplishments. Overall, pretty solid performance from Dwayne Johnson. I heard him say he wants to get back into more dramatic movies, and I think this film gets him back into more challenging roles. It's definitely a step in the right direction. And those are my thoughts on the Smashing Machine. If you've seen it, leave a comment down on what you thought about the film. Also leave a comment, what is your favorite fighting contact sport movie, and we could talk about it. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.